Well, hello there and welcome back to Minecraft, where I've built a thing since the last episode. I built a little fishing dock here. So this is our world spawn, and for the longest time there was this little branch that just ended right here and didn't go off to anything. So the other day I decided to just build a little something here. It's not super great, and I don't think I'm done. I think I'm going to add a bit more here or there, but it's basically just a little fishing hut and a dock here. I added a little overhang here. I'm not super happy with this roof design. I'm probably gonna change it. At first I was just gonna use campfires, but I didn't remember that campfires are only bottom half, so I'll have to come up with something else for this roof because I'm not super happy with it. But what I am super happy with is my cute little salmon bucket, or salmon barrel. So we have the same armor stand mod that they use on Hermitcraft, so I used that to do a little bit of salmon work here. So I got 3 salmons here, and then that's a giant salmon head that I put in there just to fill up the rest of the bucket, because I did not feel like catching enough salmon to completely fill it. And then here I have a little rack to hold fishing rods, so I got one there, and one's missing because that is the one that I am using down here to catch some fish. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this overall. Again, I'm probably going to come back and do some more, add a few more little details here or there, probably add some more armor stands, maybe even start building some boats out in the water there, because granted, this isn't a huge area of water, but I mean, I think it does technically eventually connect to an ocean, so I could knock out this bit of land here. That would make it make a little more sense, and then I can have some boats throughout here. I don't know. I kind of want to start doing stuff in this area just because it'll be fun, but that is not what I'm going to be doing today. And actually, what I want to do today will come later because we actually have a little job that we got to do. So Dipper has a bee farm in the Nether. It's basically right next to his portal. He's got a little bee farm, and he wants me to help him automate crafting, set up the storage better, because the storage for it was inadequate to begin with. So here is Dipper's bee farm, and the problem is it is now active whenever my gold farm is active. So if I'm AFK at my gold farm, this farm is actually active. And the storage was just completely overflowing, and it was inadequate to begin with. So he wants me to help him set up some auto crafting here. So this is where the honeycomb will come in, honey blocks, and then he also is going to have bottles and these honey blocks. So he has asked me to help him get the auto crafting set up, because I do have some experience in that and he doesn't really. So, let's see. Alright, so I'm sure he won't mind if I tear this out. So this looks like he basically just started putting stuff in. Why did he have... Oh, that's why he has 2. Okay. I will take that. So yeah, I guess he just mocked this up, but didn't really know what he was doing with the auto crafting. So we are going to take care of it. So first things first... Actually, this looks like something I would do, but I will tear this out, and I need to clear out some space. Yeah, so we're going to build just a standard impulse item sorter, because they work. And then that's what we want to get out. So there's that. And then like that. And like that. Okay. So. And those are going in there now. Okay, that's fine. So this will feed down into here. So what will happen is it'll filter out all of the just plain honeycomb. So as it passes across here, plain honeycomb will go down. It'll go into here and start filling up these chests, which is the chest the honeycomb wants to go into. And then once these chests all get full, it'll keep going around and start filling up there. Which I talked to my brother. He said that's fine because, he's... A, not really going to ever need much, and B, he can always manually craft things. So that's how we're going to do that, and it should work great. So now, here will lead to the auto crafter. Great, so yep, that works for crafting them then. Alright, so we can put these back. Beautiful. Okay, so there is crafter number 1 assembled. So now here's the thing. This part is actually going to be slightly more complicated than the other side. Because if I recall... So basically, the honey block will spit out, but I think also the honey... what do you call them? Or the empty glass bottles, I think will also spit out with this. So... Oh boy, I am trapped. Okay. So yeah, if we test this, so 4 to give the thing, and then if I'm right, yeah, so it spat out the 4 empty bottles along with the honey block. So now I actually do need a item filter. I need to filter out the bottles or the honey blocks. I guess filtering the honey blocks makes more sense. So I'll filter out the honey blocks, and then the bottles I'm actually going to probably bring around and feed back into the system here. So I don't know which of these are what. Hang on, I think I just saw one that... Yeah, there's some hives that are full, which means that he's run out of either bottles or shears. Ah, see? He made the rookie mistake. Can't let... Okay, so... Yeah, I will definitely feed some bottles back in. I don't know where he wants bottles to start or stop, but... Okay, so we will just... Let's make our crafter go, like, here-ish. And this time, I need to make sure to not let it craft at all when there's one honey bottle in, because one honey bottle... So yeah, the problem here is if you use a single honey bottle in the crafter, it'll spit out sugar. So I need to make sure that it doesn't trigger when there is only one item. So that, again, that would be, I guess, the same way with the comparators. I am out of comparators. Ah, that did shoot out... Shoots, that shot out sugar. Huh. Okay. How do I make it not shoot out sugar? The observers are fine. What I can do instead... This might not be the most elegant way to do this, but this would work, I believe. If we put our target block back... Where's my redstone? Did I grab my redstone shulker? I did, okay. What if we used a copper bulb? This may be dumb. Am I right that this would work? Yeah, that should work. So here, let's test it. I'll put in 16, I should get no sugar, and I should get 4 blocks. Perfect. Okay, great. So then I can filter out the bottles, or actually I'll filter out the blocks and then send everything else. Well, I guess I will add a filter for the blocks, and I'll add a junk just in case. All right, great. That is perfect. Now I just need some more hoppers because I am running really low. Oh. Well, that was really dumb of me. So yeah, I just need a little bit more space on the other side of this wall, and now there's these idiots. Yeah, a baby just chased me and almost killed me. Ah, you suck. How many of these guys are there?
And you wonder why I closed off my thing.
Well, it's not usually a problem, except I punched them, not realizing I would need to come into this place, so.
Well,
Because there was a baby had come in and was in my way, so I punched him and killed him to get him out of my way, but... Alright, that's all. Okay, so this is for honey blocks. Okay. And then anything else that should be coming through should be glass bottles. So those can just go over there now. Alright, now all I need to do is build a dropper vader, and I should be good to go. Great. That is fantastic. So, if we take a look here, we should have some stuff filling up. So that is filling. This isn't, I don't think, going to do anything for a while. And this is filling. Okay, great. I'm pretty happy with that. That works. So... let's pick up our boxes and get out of here. Alright, so now that I'm all done with Dipper's bee farm, it is time to get on to what I actually wanted to do today. And that is actually work on my base. So, if we go into free cam real quick, we can see I got a pretty nice base. We got a whole bunch of platforms here in our treehouse, and I like it. It's very nice, but this was always meant to just be a starter base, and until recently, I didn't actually have an idea of what I wanted to do for my actual base. But I do have ideas now, so we're going to actually start on it. And it's going to stay in this area. We're going to be building it basically around or under our starter base. So a lot of the inspiration for what I'm going to be doing for my base actually comes from the game Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, because there's a jungle area in there. I forget what the actual country is. I'll insert it here on screen. There's a jungle area and a village there, and a lot of my inspiration for what I'm going to be doing is coming from that. Let's see real quick, just check our... Okay. So we are going to be building, actually it's going to be a 2-parts jungle village, and again, it's a lot inspired by that. So what I'm thinking is this area closer to the rivers and my treehouse, this is going to be kind of a, well, it's going to be modern day, but it's going to be a jungle village very much inspired by this one that I'm putting up on screen right now from Indiana Jones. And, ooh, that's a weird hole. Interesting. So yeah, it's basically going to be just in this area around the rivers. I'm thinking probably to about here-ish. And then I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to have like rundown ruins of an ancient village here, like stone buildings, and then have a pyramid up here, or a, what's it called? Ziggurat? I don't know. I'll put the word on screen because I am not very smart. And so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start just the bare minimum of planning it out today. I don't know if I'm going to actually get around to doing any building, but we're going to start planning. So let's see. Is this where I want to put it? Oh yeah, right here where so I'm going to have to build a pretty fancy bridge on an angle here to get up here. I don't think I'm going to do too much terraforming, but I'll have to do some. But let's go for the actual thing. So let's see. Well, the actual outline of where this thing is going to go. Oh yeah, that'll be good. That'll be a good size for the base of this thing. And I do plan on actually doing some amount of interior decorating. Like, these aren't just going to be empty structures, or at least this one's not. just realized I was just not recording, but I am moving it over because it was not actually centered on where I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be centered on the this little spit of land right here, and it most certainly was not, so I am extending it. Or shifting it. Okay, so that's fine. And actually, I prefer the positioning of that anyway. You know, besides being centered on this little outcropping, it's more in the sparse jungle section and not in whatever this is. So that's actually better. I prefer that. Okay, so we are just going to mark out where paths, you know, with path blocks, basically where we're going to have everything go. There. Bridge completed. That is exactly how the bridge is staying. I am not going to ever change it. Nope. Before I do much else, I guess I'll mark out where I want the old village to stop and the new one to start. I feel like that's probably important to do. Also, I need more rockets. Alright, so I'm thinking the water is a good spot to break it up. And yeah, I feel like that's pretty good. That's pretty close to half and half. So I guess basically right across here is where we'll have some sort of transition. So yeah, right under us. So I'm going to just, for now, mark a line with granite. And we'll go from there. There we go. So that, I feel like, is a pretty good path to take. It's not exact... Oh, you know, that's... Well, yeah, no, this whole area is going to have buildings in it. And actually, probably better to actually go, like, here. But that's just a rough layout of what we're doing. Now that we have our approximate end to the old section, we will start bushwhacking. So I'm going to have, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to have basically like a main avenue that basically cuts right through the middle of this jungle. So let's find where that's going to need to be, and we're just going to chop down all the trees right away. Alright, so let's just go. So we want it to basically be right in the center of this section, so right at the base of this tree is where we want to turn and go. So these stupid little bush trees are so annoying. Hang on, I need a hoe. I don't think I have one in my toolbox. I hear a skeleton. No idea where it is. Right? Am I going in the right spot? Yeah, I guess so. Hello there.
Is there? Okay.
What?
I was trying to hide, and then there's just this cutout here for some reason. I
Yeah.
guess it's 2 branches.
Yeah. So yeah, so
Oh my gosh, jungle noises are so loud. Hold on.
what jungle noises do you hear?
I have an ambient
Oh,
noise mod, so I hear like monkeys and birds and
there's no monkeys in
things.
Minecraft.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, so you're basically just starting to lay it out. So I'm gonna have my ziggurat is the correct term, correct? For the like the South American type pyramid thingy.
Not for South American.
Then what's the correct term?
I think just pyramid. Ziggurats, as far as I'm aware, are always like Middle East.
Okay, well, whatever it is,
Like-
I'm going to put one of those over there, the bridge coming across here, so then I'm going to break it up into kind of an ancient ruined village type thing, and then over closer to the treehouse will be a slightly more modern one that's still being lived in. So right now I'm just carving my path through the jungle, which will be like the main road from the ancient village.
What block are you using?
Right now, an axe.
Pallet.
Probably going up. At least the ancient part is going to be a lot of tough, probably.
Okay, because I was gonna say, for the road that's used, mud, like packed mud.
Well, yeah. I mean, depending on how ruined I make parts of the road, some of it'll probably be, mud and dirt and stuff mixed in with stone. If if I want parts of the road to still be existing or not.
Well, yeah. Are you going for stone houses or like
stone? The ancient one is going to be mostly stone.
I mean, like the lived in, or
the currently lived in
like
one.
The colorful wood and
the one that's currently lived in is going to be like the jungle area in Indiana Jones in the Great Circle. It's going to be like that. So like a lot of bamboo and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. The path I was gonna have go up through my autumn forest, across that bridge that I forgot I built. And then up the mountain, like, is gonna go right past the back side of the.
Here,
well, it's not right past.
Show me where. Show me where.
Like, this path is gonna go winding up around this mountain, which if I do that, just a slight offshoot would lead me here, which leads directly to the back of the pyramid. Like, they got
so you know what
here or something.
What I could do. I was gonna do, all sorts of like ancient traps and redstone and stuff inside. Like, it's not actually gonna be a base; it's just gonna be a neat structure. So what I could do is I could have hidden secret exits that leads out like here, and like you can have some sort of ruined evidence of the secret entrance. Something subtle.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably just put a cave and make it entrance overgrown.
Yeah, yeah, whatever you want to do on this end, and then I'll just have it, some sort of redstone secret activation mechanism in the pyramid, so then it's technically connected.
Yeah, it's just a shame that there's the snow right here. Like,
you can remove this. You can remove the snow.
Yeah, actually, it's really not that big, except it probably it's snowy slopes, so it's gonna snow here. So even if I remember,
so what you can do is you can put up, if you put, I don't know if there's a specific Y level you need to put it at, but you can put glass up in the sky. I know it's kind of ugly, but that would prevent the snow from building up.
Or shulker boxes.
Yeah, shulker. Well, shulkers, would they no, they wouldn't leave a shadow, would they?
Nope, because they're gonna de-render.
Well, it's yeah, you'd have to do a lot of digging if you wanted to make it bigger.
No, I'm picturing like Golden Gate Bridge type bridge.
So here's another idea. Is what you could use. You could have a path winding down into the canyon and have like a narrow hiking path type thing down at the bottom of the canyon here.
That is true.
All right, so this is okay so far. There's a couple spots that we probably want to widen it a little bit, but definitely we want to leave it somewhat overgrown. Even though this is the main road, this is the ancient part of the village, so it's going to have to be a little bit overgrown at least. But probably a lot of that I'll add in myself manually later on. Let's see, how far do I actually want to go with this? Well, I guess really we can go until like this cliff. Oh, yeah, actually. Yeah, there's this cliff here, so that actually is a good natural barrier for where we want to go. So yeah, basically if I continue this just until there, that's our good natural barrier, and then that gives us plenty of space for the transition, besides what we had marked out there. So actually, yeah, that's better. So we'll just go until this cliff right up here. Yeah, that works. So yeah, so this can be our main road for where, you know, the main road in the ancient city, and then it turned and goes off towards the pyramid. But then let's see. Oh, is there a cave down there? There is a cave. Okay. There's a lot of weird caves here. Okay. So that's where the main road will be. And then I'm thinking what I can do is I'm actually thinking maybe have like an ancient crumbling stone dock like here, and have it that's a spot where I can meet up with the new, and have this just be like an overgrown crumbling dock here. Okay, so that's basically where the ancient city will be. And then the modern city will have to have some sort of connection here. So I'm gonna actually be cutting this down a little bit, this hill, because then what we have here, what I can do is I can have it that there's like a rickety old bridge going over this little chasm down to here. So here, let's chop this hill down a little bit because it's a little awkward. And actually, what I might do is I might actually connect the water there and turn this into more of an island. Yeah, basically I can take this water, I can cut through here, and connect. Ooh, actually, in addition to cutting through with the water, what I might actually do, which would be pretty cool, is I can do a tunnel going through, like the water goes through like an underground, it's an underground river, like a cave. That could be neat. Okay, cool. Now that I have the basic area for the ancient part laid out, we need to lay out the more modern, still lived in part. It's not really going to be modern, it's just going to be lived in. So, looking at this, I think what I'm probably going to want to do, and again, this is just some very basic thinking here. What I'll do is I'll have some... Wrong buttons. I'll have some houses around here, and then basically this will be the fishing area, like where fishing village, you know, fishing houses are that extend into the water, and then maybe like around here-ish, it'll transition to be just more houses scattered into the forest, or the jungle, and we can then just cut in paths to little clusters of houses. I think that could work. So then I can basically have in... Oh, and this is how we can actually get into the village, because we have already our path here. So like when I put in my shop here, I put this path and it led off towards my base. What I can do is I can connect the path here over to there. So let's see, we'll bring the path this way about. Yeah, we'll go like this. And yeah, this way it'll stay very jungly for a while, I think. Okay, I hate efficiency on my shovel. I should never have put it on. And then about here, it'll transition into being part of the village, so we'll clear away a few trees, right? Let's make sure I don't clear away any of the trees from my tree houses. Yeah, so then here's where it'll transition to being part of the village. And we're gonna have to figure out, there's gotta be some sort of village square. I mean, the fishing section of the village, like where the fishermen live, obviously that'll be a big section of it, but there needs to be like an actual village center, which I'm thinking will probably be right about here. So like in line with my enchanting module. So let's get over there. Clear away a bunch of trees here. Is that what I want? Yeah, I think that's what I want. So yeah, we can basically, I think, disregard our granite border at this point, because yeah, I think definitely doing the canyon is a better choice. All right, so here I have a couple of signs. So the main village. So the main village square or center will be here. And then off in this direction will be... fishermen's huts, docks, etc. Probably. And then I think village will branch off in a couple of directions. So, but first we'll head towards the fishing area. We'll want some houses somewhere, so, because this probably won't have many houses. Houses will be off in this direction and this direction, I think, other than the fishermen's huts. So let's say... Here, let's find where do we want... Basically, houses can just be off in either direction. So we'll have the path continue this way and this way. So probably some houses this way, and then yeah, and then we can have more rundown houses as we head towards the entrance to the ancient city. Add water below going through cave to other side. And then to newer village. Okay. So then the ancient part will need a kind of a city square too. A main square basically. So where do we, that should be about in the middle, I think. See, but I don't know if I should have the main square be here, or like if I should have it at the intersection where it goes off towards the pyramid or not. Maybe not. No, I don't think so. So we'll have like even not so much a city square as like a main plaza area. And actually this is a pretty good spot for it, I think. Main square / plaza. So main square / plaza area here-ish. Okay, and then as for the actual pyramid, big fancy entrance plaza. Big fancy entrance plaza. So we'll go here, going into the pyramid. And again, so I mentioned to Dipper, I'm not going to have the pyramid be an actual base. It's going to be a structure. I'm probably going to put some redstone traps and stuff in it, but basically most of this isn't going to really be functional for anything. I might have some, or I will have some villagers in the more modern section, but most of this is just going to be to look pretty and make the jungle a little more interesting. I'll probably still keep living in my tree houses. What is down here? Oh, this is a neat little area. I didn't know this was here. Cool. I don't really have much in the way of designs planned. I mean, this is the first actual planning I've done for any of this, so it's going to be a little while before I actually start building stuff. And on that note, that's going to be it for today. So if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing. And until next time, so long.